Hello Internet, your friendly neighborhood gremlin here, and today we're doing a thing. I don't know how we got here. I do know how we got here. I was procrastinating because I didn't want to do a build, and that led to me sorting and doing lists and things, which led to me reading descriptions of Animal Crossing characters, which led me to all of their dark secrets. I mean, I suppose the first couple are just kind of like surprising facts and not really secrets, but they get darker and weirder as they go, I promise. And if you guys like this kind of video, I have so many more of these. It was really hard to narrow it down to 10. I really didn't want to, but also, again, time limits and no one is going to watch all of the secrets because that would have been like hours long. Probably not, but it would have been a long time and I would not have time to make it this morning. So our first subject for today's video is Gruff. And our surprising fact, not really secret, is that he is a vegetarian, which is a thing it just says in his description. It's not really a thing I can talk that much about. I mean, it's not really that exciting. He's a vegetarian. And our next fact/secret is that Jeremiah sleepwalks. Again, one of those things that you don't really have to be embarrassed or like afraid of people knowing. I don't think it's that big of a deal. And this fact comes specifically from his Pocket Camp description, which says, if Jeremiah looks tired all the time, it's not because he isn't getting enough sleep. It's because he's sleepwalking. So if you talk to him later, try not to wake him up. And our next fun fact, and probably the last one that isn't really a big deal or isn't something people are hiding, is that Aurora has a stutter. This also comes from her Pocket Camp description, which reads, Aurora would appreciate it if you look past the stutter to focus on her eloquence and poise. The written version has several P's in front of poise to sort of stimulate or imply a stutter, I suppose. I'm not reading it like that because it feels kind of mean given that I don't have a stutter. So we're not going to do that one. But no, it's there. Well, we had to get 4 in, but here's something someone is actually keeping secret from you. We've got Hippeux, or should I say Gary? Yes, his real name is Gary. And this again comes from the Pocket Camp description. I promise not all of them come from his Pocket Camp descriptions, but... So, from wearing the most upscale fashions to reading obscure poetry, Hippeux will do anything to give off the appearance of class and poise. His real name is Gary. Moving on to number 5, we have one that I'm not sure he's keeping secret from anyone, but is also something that people might be kind of embarrassed by, and that is that Murphy smells seaweed to calm down when he's angry. I don't know, that's weird. Right? That seems weird. Anyway, this one comes from the e-cart description, actually, not the Pocket Camp one. So, here we go. In addition to being a grumpy bear, Murphy has a habit that's just plain weird. He carries a small container under his shirt that's packed with seaweed, and whenever he gets angry, he pulls it out and smells the stinky stuff. I do have questions. Why do you think the smell of seaweed calms him down? Is this like some sort of thing I've never heard of before, or is he just weird? Number 6 on our list is Ozzie, who apparently wears a giraffe costume and hangs upside down so he can grow taller. That's not a thing I've ever heard of working. I don't know, he's hoping for gravity or something? This one also comes from the e-card description. He doesn't have a Pocket Camp description, so Ozzie has high hopes of growing taller. This little koala dons his giraffe outfit every day before hanging upside down and measuring his height. Well, he may think he's too small, but he's head and shoulders above the rest in my book. I would like to know who the me in that sentence is, because I don't think there were any other entries that I read that refer to a person in first person, so I don't know who's the author of the e-cards. Mysteries. Our next one is admittedly a weird one. Freckles fell in love with a fish. Don't ducks eat fish? This seems problematic. Anyway, this comes from her e-card description, which reads, Freckles has always been a fickle girl, but no one knew how fickle until she fell in love with a fish that couldn't even say her name. He just sort of burbled. She thought it was cute though. So, maybe not the kind of thing you go around telling people at parties, or maybe it's the kind of thing she does go around telling people at parties. I don't know. I don't talk to Freckles. So Benedict thinks he's been abducted by aliens. There were actually quite a few animals that had like alien things. Obviously you'd expect people like Roswell and, oh god, I don't remember who else it was. Anyway, there are other people. I don't know. Benedict didn't entirely just strike me as the kind of person who would believe this, but here is his Pocket Camp description. Benedict's convinced that he's forgetful because he was abducted by aliens and they put a chip in his head. If only he could remember. He was just born forgetful. Now, Robin's e-card description is kind of just creepy. Maybe that was implied by the empty bird cages in her house. And it reads, Robin has several bird cages in her home. But wait a minute. She's a bird too. Are those her babies locked up in cages? That doesn't sound right. Oh, I get it. They're empty. What a relief. I don't know. It doesn't seem very relieving to me. Like, they're empty now, But is she planning to fill them with birds? Were they previously full of birds? Is she a serial killer? These are the questions we need to ask. And finally, our poor Ellie kind of has a drug problem, or a snorting sugar problem, and her pocket camp description reads as such. Ellie has what you might call the ultimate sweet tooth, or if we're being more accurate, a sweet trunk. That's how she eats her sweets, even though they always get stuck up there. And as we all know, snouts are like elephant noses, not mouths, so our girl is snorting the sweets. Do we need to take her to rehab? I mean, I do have her playing the evil witch in Hansel and Gretel, so maybe she just gives off that damaged vibe. And those are 10 secrets that your villagers do not want you to know, some more concerning than others. But if you like this type of video and want to see more of them, you could hit that like button. And do leave your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear what you think, or literally anything at all. And if you think you might like to do this again sometime, you could hit that subscribe button. And I'll see y'all on Wednesday. Goodbye!